Okay, so hello everyone, and thank you for joining us tonight. We are recording this session, as many of you know. My name is Mariah Finken. I'm the Student Support Specialist for our CSIT programs, and we're going to do some brief introductions, discuss the program a bit, and then you'll hear from our alumni guest speakers. And after that, we'll open it up for some questions and answers at the end, and all of the participants will be muted, so feel free to type your questions in the chat, and we will go through and answer each one at the end. Just going to share my screen here. So welcome to our Computer Information Technology Security Associates and Applied Science Information session. Computer Information Technology, referred to as CIT for short. So I'll be sharing and unsharing my screen as we have this PowerPoint as well as guest speakers. So just bear with me during the process. So we'll start the session with program introductions. My name is Mariah Finken. As I mentioned before, I'm the Student Support Specialist for the Computer Science and Information Technology programs, which we reference as CSIT. And our cybersecurity program here at NCC is our CIT security program, as mentioned before. If you sign up for any of these programs, including our security program, you'll have me as your Student Support Specialist. So my role is to work with you from the very beginning, such as the introduction of a program like tonight, and then all the way through to graduation. So I'm here as an added level of support to help you with whatever you may need, whether that's finding resources, important deadlines, registration, course scheduling, extra help, general questions and answers, whatever that may be, I'll be here to help you along the way. And I will also be doing general check-ins throughout your time here just to make sure all of your questions are answered, and if you need any assistance with anything. So my role is in conjunction with some other NCC services who we will briefly introduce in a minute, and also more directly with your faculty and faculty advisor. And for the security program specifically, in addition to other CIT programs, that will be Brian Stokes, who is going to talk to you about our security program in a few minutes. But let's let Brian introduce himself.
Hello, everybody. I'm glad you could make it. Good to see some of you I recognize. I've already said hi to a couple people, but we're glad you're here. I should also mention Kevin Manna is on the call as well. He's our networking, our Cisco person too. So you would, if you were in the program, you would be taking some classes from him as well.
Okay, thank you. So in addition to myself and your faculty advisors, as a student at NCC, you'll have plenty of support from the college as a whole to assist you in your journey here. So tonight we have members from our admissions team, career services team, and success navigators to introduce you and answer any questions you might have at the end. And their contact info is up on the slide. So I'm gonna unshare so that we can introduce you to everyone. Jessica is from admissions. Jessica, would you like to take a minute to introduce yourself?
Absolutely. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on this session today. My name is Jessica Schanzenbach. I work in the admissions office at Northampton Community College. I am based at the Monroe campus, but I can help our students with whatever campus they're in. So as an admissions officer, I help students with getting started at the school. I'll help you with getting your transcripts in, with the application process, your financial aid, getting started at the school. Anything you need to do right up until you register for classes, that's kind of our job to help you out. So I'm here to offer any kind of services you have about NCC as a whole, if you have questions about the college or anything like that.
Great, thank you, Jessica. And Jeremy is from Career Services. Jeremy, would you like to take a minute to introduce yourself?
Sure, thank you, Mariah, and thank you for having us here this evening. We really appreciate it. It's good to be here and see everyone. So I'm Jeremy Hyman. I'm here along with my colleague, Katrina Schriefer. We're from the Center for Career Development, also known as Career Services, where we offer a variety of resources, programs, and events to support your career success, from career advising and exploration to job shadowing, internship and job opportunities, to supporting you with resumes, cover letters and interview prep, as well as events like job and internship fairs, career panels, and networking events. We are here to help you reach your career goals. And of course, all of that is in conjunction with Mariah and with Professor Stokes and others that you'll be working with in your time here at NCC. Nice to meet everyone, and thanks so much.
Thank you, Jeremy. We had Latoya Dewberry here to represent the Success Navigators. I don't know if she's on the call. Latoya, I didn't find her in the search. And I don't know if Elena is here. She is also one of our success navigators, but you can meet them in the future. So they work with you in the beginning of the program. They serve as your advisor for your first term and sometimes a little bit longer. But we can definitely introduce you to them as we move forward. So let me go back to our screen here and we'll move on with the presentation. So just some fast facts about the college before we get into why we're here, which is of course to learn about our cybersecurity program. So to start, NCC is very affordable, and in PA, it is in fact the lowest tuition rate per semester as a resident of Northampton County. We have small student to faculty ratio, so you'll get the attention that you need and deserve. We offer a lot of financial aid and scholarships, and we have a lot of transfer agreements, including for our CRT programs. And in fact, you'll hear from one of our guest speakers in a bit who went to MCTI, the Monroe Career Technical Institute in high school, and was able to get some of those credits transferred over as college credits here at NCC. And so you'll keep seeing the title bar at the bottom saying this project is funded by the NSF. So let me tell you what that means and why. Cybersecurity is one of the fastest growing tech fields out there and predicted to continually expand as the need goes beyond tech companies and literally filters into a need for cybersecurity in just about every industry. So think hospitals, think construction companies, fashion companies, whatever it may be. There's a large need to secure and protect the company's data. And right now, there's just not enough qualified workers to meet this demand. So the National Science Foundation, the NSF, recognizes this and proactively wants to create the demand for qualified workers. And NCC obtained a grant from the NSF to increase enrollment in our cybersecurity program, and more specifically to increase representation of females and underrepresented populations in cybersecurity. So what the NSF is hoping, and what we would like to achieve as well, is to make this program and the field more reflective of society and our national demographic as a whole. So there's ample opportunity out there, as you can see by the salary stats and the number of available jobs in Pennsylvania for gainful employment for anyone who's interested in this field. NCC has strong partnerships with top employers that help with your professional networking and development. And another added bonus of attending NCC for the cybersecurity program is how well connected the college is to industry. They sit on advisory boards, inform our curriculum to keep it current, to improve employment opportunities after graduation. They speak in our classrooms and provide invaluable networking experiences. And for many of our graduates have gone on to work at some of these companies as well. So what can you do with this degree? The coursework is designed to prepare you for entry-level jobs. And now I'm going to pass this on to Brian now to speak on the jobs, the program, and the program content. Brian?
Thank you. So in general, we've had good success with our students getting hired by a number of companies in the area. Some of the ones that were mentioned in the previous slide, we've had quite a few students go there. We have good relations with a number of companies in the Valley. Obviously, I want a disclaimer from the beginning, don't expect to get a 2-year degree and start working as a penetration tester, or high-level security person. That takes years of experience and very likely a more advanced degree, but we feel that the 2-year program that we have is a good start. It gets you the basic skills you need to get into industry and start building that resume. So we've listed some of the examples here. I'm working as an information security tech, information security analyst. Again, some of these are more mid-level in some companies. A lot of companies that we have worked with, you generally start as a help desk or as a network administrator to show that you know what you're doing before they give you the more high-level types of jobs. But we do have some students who have been hired, and matter of fact, Kivon, who's recorded his presentation later on. He's working for T-Mobile. He works with their security operations center over in New Jersey. So a lot of it depends on your skill level, your drive, and to some extent your background. But like I said, when we talk about the classes that we teach, I will talk about some of the things that we do cover and some of the certifications that we cover that will help you get started. What's on the next slide, Mariah? There we go. Okay, so let's talk about our specific program. The big problem that I always encounter with students is they say, you know, when they come to like do student orientation and we're talking about the program, they say, I want to work with computers, but they don't know really what they want to do with computers. It's kind of like saying I want to be a doctor. Well, you could be a pediatrician, you could be a vascular surgeon, you could be a neurosurgeon. There's tons of different areas you can go into. There's not just one doctor. You could specialize in lots of areas. And so at NCC, we have two major areas that we deal with in computer science. One is computer science itself, and the other is information technology. So what is computer science versus information technology? Computer science is more of the math side of computer science. So a lot of computer science majors, when you're in the computer science major, you have to take Calc 1 and Calc 2. You're dealing with a lot of very low-level programming languages. And the computer science major is actually a transfer major. It's an AS degree as opposed to an AAS degree, which is an applied degree. So if you really like math and you're really into basic programming, computer science might be the way to go. The one issue that sometimes comes up is students who want to get into this program who have not taken a lot of math in high school. You will be taking a lot of remedial math to catch up to get into the Calc 1 and Calc 2 classes. So it's better if you've taken a lot of those pre-calc classes in high school so that you're ready for calculus when you get into the program. So that's the main focus. So we have transfer agreements with, for example, ESU is probably our biggest transfer college. A lot of people go to ESU. They have a good computer science program. We've had students go to Kutztown and Lehigh. So all the schools in the area recognize our computer science program. The CIT program, information technology, is more practitioner technician type of a degree. And so within that major area is a number of different degrees that you can get. So we have them listed here. Obviously, security is one of them, administration is another, networking is another, app development is another. So security is pretty self-explanatory. A lot of the courses that you take deal with cybersecurity. Covers the basics of security, things like penetration testing, and we have a class called ethical hacking. It teaches you a little bit about how to break into systems, how to secure systems, things like that. The administration and the networking majors deal more with network administration, so dealing with things like Windows and Linux servers, dealing with networking, so Cisco, those types of networking side of things. So if you take the networking degree, you will take a lot of Cisco courses with a little bit of Windows. If you take the admin degree, you will be dealing a lot with Windows and Linux and a little bit of Cisco. So one is kind of leaning towards operating systems, the other one's leaning more towards networking technology. And then the fourth one is application development. So this is, you can do things like mobile development, web application development. So it's a little bit of programming languages. You'll learn a little bit of scripting languages, as well as some major some major languages like C++, Java, things like that. So. And then the last area is what we call web development. Web development is kind of a combination of the app development and more of the art side of things. So you learn a little bit about graphic design as well as program development. So if you have a bent towards artistic ability, then that would be a good way to go too. So you see that we have a broad range of options. We don't just have one degree program. We actually have a number of degree programs. And some of these will, depending on what school you're planning on going to, for example, we've had Drexel, University down in Philadelphia, has a good security program, and we've been talking to them about transfer options. We have other universities in the area. Penn State, as a matter of fact, Penn State Lehigh Valley, we just got an email a few days ago, Mariah forwarded to me, that they're doing a cybersecurity bachelor's degree, and so we're going to be speaking with them about transfer options. So there's a lot of schools that are recognizing that cybersecurity is a big area, and they really need to focus on that. So our hope is that as we move forward, we'll have more and more transfer agreements, so you have more options for transferring for a four-year degree if that's your intent. And then what do we have for the next slide? There we go. So how the degree, is this my slide or your slide, Mariah? You're on mute.
Sorry, yours.
Okay, good. I wasn't sure if this was mine or yours. So the way that the program works, the first couple of semesters is the foundational material. So you take things like basic networking, basic PC repair, basic Cisco. Cisco has a CCENT program. So so you will start out with the basics, understanding what operating systems are, how networks work, hardware that's involved in working with computers and servers. And then your last year, you will focus on, if you're in the security program, we focus a lot on the network security side of things. And you can see some of the listings we have here. Cybersecurity, law and ethics, we deal a lot with things like how legal aspects of security, what types of regulatory compliance are involved. We deal with, we talk about security administration, ethical hacking, and a majority of our courses also, we try to map them to industry certifications. So not only are you learning the content in the course, but if you choose at the end of the course, you can study for and take the relevant certification for that course, and that helps you as well. So for example, we have CIC 180, that's our basic network security course, that maps to the Security Plus exam. We have CIC 205, which is our cybersecurity fundamentals, I think it's called fundamentals, and that is the CYSA exam. So a number of our security courses do map to industry certifications. You don't get the certification at the end of the course. There's actually more involved. You have to study for and take the exam, but we at least get you ready for the exam as much as we can. So that's kind of a double bonus there, so that you're not only getting the stuff that in the classroom, but if you choose, you can go and study for the exams themselves. And that usually I recommend that to my students too. That's kind of, if you have your degree and you have your certifications, a lot of employers like to see that. That kind of gives them a good feeling that you've not only gone to school, but you've passed those certifications for those for those standard industry certifications. So. Anyone have any questions about any of the courses or the certifications at this point? I haven't seen anybody come up in the chat. So. I heard an but I didn't hear anything else. Go ahead.
No?
I guess not. Okay. Maybe you can put something in the chat later, or there we go. Here. Oh, so Zane is saying I'm on mobile. Okay. So Zane, you can put a question in the chat if you want. I'll try to respond to it. Do we have another slide, or is this your Mariah? You're up.
I'm up. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So thank you, Brian. Now that you've heard about the program, I just also want to reinforce the success network that backs you as a student here. So again, you'll have your success navigator, and that is the person that works with you in your first term as your advisor and helps you to schedule courses. You have myself as the student support specialist. You'll have your faculty and faculty advisor like Brian. You'll have career services like Jeremy, and there are so many more academic and success support services to make sure that you have a smooth and also beneficial experience here. Okay, so now you'll get to meet and hear from our wonderful alumni speakers, and they'll share their knowledge and experience with us. Our first speaker is Will Feliciano. He is the student who transferred credits from MCTI to college credit here at NCC, the computer club president, PC repair clinic, and so on. So let me end screen share. Will?
Yep. Thank you so much, Mariah. Hello, everyone. My name is William Feliciano. I am of NCC alumni of class 2016. I'm currently a service desk analyst for Northampton County, so staying within the county a little bit. I like to stick around a little bit. So just to kind of start off my story a little bit, I started off like some of you. I started off at Monroe Career and Technical Institute, which is the career and technical education for Monroe County. Through there, I was I was able to get up to get 12 credits transferred straight from high school right to college, right to Northampton Community College, which was fantastic. So if any parents are out there, that's dollar signs for any students out there. That's an entire semester. So I was able to take that semester and actually go ahead and go forth and use it to get not just one degree but 2 associate degrees. I have it in both the networking and the security. So that was fantastic. That really helped jumpstart my my college career, if you will. It already put me in the mindset of coming into college and having that look at the post-secondary education. So that was really good. The process was very smooth, very seamless, and it was as simple as just signing a paper and just saying, hey, you took these classes. So that was pretty great. So if you're in Monroe County, highly recommend MCTI. I loved it so much. And then from there, my first semester, I was able to become the computer club president. And that was honestly another cool thing that I was able to do. One thing a lot of people always say about Northampton Community College, and I mean, it's really true. You kind of get that university feel. Even though it's only a 2-year college, and that's just something you don't get at any other community colleges at all. So that was just something that was really cool. Through becoming the computer club president, I was able to do some cool things. Like one thing I did was have a LAN party. So for anybody who knows what that is, that's a gaming party. So we just had a bunch of gamers. We all came in the room. We all got into a room. We just kind of gamed out. So that was really cool. The first one we ever ran, we got over 100 people. And that's like unheard of. We were such a small club at the time. We had over 100 people. And then our second time, we got over, I think, 230 people, which was pretty nuts. So that was something that was so cool. That was something that was really awesome. And then on top of that, we were also able to donate up to like 300. I think it was $450 to the Extra Life Foundation, Kids with Leukemia as well, through just a LAN party, a gaming party alone. So that was a lot of fun. On top of that, another thing that the computer club also offers as well is something called the PC Repair Clinic. Somebody who has the A+ certification, which is that entry level PC repair certification, was able. Will go forth and you'll be able to shadow them, see how they fix people's computers. It's essentially what it is. It's a student run organization that is just like in the way of Geek Squad is, however we charge 60% less than what Geek Squad charges, and all proceeds go to the computer club. So it's something that you could really gain experience from. It's some a lot of the guys that I was showing how to fix computers, the next semester they're building computers. I mean, that was really cool. And within my time at NCC, I was able to get so right before I took the class, I got the A+ certification, which was great. So one thing about Northampton Community College, what a lot of people don't know about, is that where specifically in the IT, is that if you get your certification, you just pass the class. So I got credit for the class, didn't have to take it, got the A, and it was all good. So that was fantastic. So I mean, so it really gears you for all the certifications and all that stuff. So my time at Northampton Community College was amazing, and that, like I said, that university feel was something like none other. Almost wish I can go back sometimes, but so that's all I got.
Okay, thank you so much, Bo. Let me share my screen here. Our next speaker is Eleftheria Luca, and Eleftheria is joining us via audio only tonight, so I'm going to leave up this slide as she speaks. She graduated from NCC and is now continuing her education, pursuing an MBA in risk management and cybersecurity. Eleftheria?
Hello, thank you, Mariah. Hope everybody can hear me well. Again, thank you. I want to thank everybody again for attending the meeting, and I want to thank Professor Stokes and Mariah for reaching out to me to share my experience with NCC while I attended. Again, my name is Eleftheria Luca. I'm from the fall 2019 class, and I graduated with an AS degree in computer information systems. And during that time, I had the pleasure of working with a great group of mentors that really shaped the way I learned my degree. And now, currently, again, I attend Baruch College in New York City, and I'm working towards my MBA information systems degree through this college's cybersecurity risk management track. My time, I want to say, just far out at Northampton was great from the start. Going way back while I was still in high school, I had the option of completing college courses offered by the college to those students who want to get ahead and start before they even got there. So when I was ready to graduate, I was able to finalize my selected major and transition to Northampton very easily. I knew at that time I wanted to pursue something in technology, but I wasn't quite sure at the time where exactly I want to hone my focus in on. All I knew was I was particularly interested in learning more about how, especially in business, how the duties of people are completed within a structure and how technology is used as a tool. And by the time I was ready to graduate from NCC, that question kind of evolved into, or with cybersecurity, how these, the protective policies and procedures are created and how effective they can be within a business. And what else with this department was really great. It really helped me understand what I was looking to discover along the way by demonstrating their own knowledge and guiding me through the coursework of my major. What's great about this field and how the program is set up is everything I learned was all interconnected. So I was prepared by the time I was ready to transfer to this college. So in my case, all the CISC courses that I took did just that. They mended well together, and they were all very well explained by the members of the department, including older students. And I got what I needed to out of the degree. Again, the program was great, and that everyone, including those who worked for it, had the potential to be, a well of knowledge. So as long as you keep learning and improving and asking good questions, you understood what you were getting your really self into. I know during my second year there, I became the computer club's vice president, as well as the newly renovated at that time 2019 repair clinic's operations manager, and both those roles helped me prepare for this 4-year college and actually put me ahead of my peers. And that's really my experience at Northampton and the degree itself. But before I hand it off to the next speaker, I know Mariah, you mentioned you wanted to touch on the topic of women in CIT and CIS, or I guess the lack of thereof. In the department at NCC, when I was there, I was good to see a good combination of female students who are really skilled in their major, as well as what I would say a top level tier of female mentors that were equally enthusiastic and knowledgeable of their field. And there still is the question of why not more women in the field of study. And to be honest, it's not really an easy answer to find, because there are so many factors that play into it, even at this 4-year university, and there is a larger demographic of students, both subjectively and not, like point of preference among young women, or maybe the lack of knowledge of just how many admirable women they are, how they can really gear their brains towards this field. So, but that's it.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Oops.
Thank you, Mariah.
You're welcome. Thank you, Eleftheria. Our next alumni speaker is Jamie Parker Quick. She's the network administrator at BAVITS, which is Bethlehem Area Vocational Technical School. She's going to discuss professional networking, staying connected, and also touch on the importance of women in tech. Jamie?
Hi, I'm not seeing myself in my, can you see me? I
Yeah.
still slide. Oh, okay, never mind. All right.
I think you have to stop sharing your screen, Mariah.
Oh, you're right. That's why I can see you. Sorry.
All right, there we go. Okay, well, first off, with my experience of actually just going to NCC, I came into there after changing careers several times, and like I worked in graphic. I had initially a bachelor's degree in art long ago, which then I turned into graphics art, and from there I went into manufacturing, and when the recession hit, I went into healthcare. And I kind of decided that the common thread through all those was that I was always really good with the technology. So I thought that going to school for IT would be a really good way for me to kind of use my strengths in a field that, you know, also helps to pay the bills. And so one reason why I was attracted to NCC was because you could kind of take classes one at a time as you were able to. There was night classes, there was day classes, there was a lot to choose from. And as I was working, and I had a 2-year-old when I started the program, that really helped me out a lot. There's a really good amount of resources and night classes for night students and non-traditional students, in addition to the traditional like day younger folks that are coming out of tech schools already with experience, which I think is awesome and great. And I came into the program with very little IT experience at all. So I initially took a few courses in the troubleshooting class and then a server class. Then I started taking the networking courses and realized pretty quickly that I was going to have to get some hands-on experience to become competitive, you know, once I graduated. So I actually started as an intern at the Northampton Community College help desk, which got my feet wet, got me some experience, you know, got me some mentors and some help. And then from there, I took it to another part-time job over at Moravian Hall Square. And then after that, I moved over to Babbitt's initially as like a help desk person, and then their network administrator left. And then they hired another network administrator who left. And by the time the second net admin had left, I'd been there about 6 months. I almost had my degree. I already had 2 networking certifications. So they said, do you want this position? And I said, you know, and I was really nervous about it because I felt I hadn't gotten enough experience and knowledge in the field yet, but that's the kind of job I wanted to be in. So I figured I would just leap for it and work really hard to get experience and get up to speed and learn what I needed to know on the job. And that's basically what I've been doing for the past year. It's been a huge learning curve, but I've learned so much, and being able to go back to my professors and resources has also really been invaluable. So I would say for people that are going to school and getting ready to get out into the real world, some of the most important things, in addition to learning the stuff, taking the classes and getting some certifications, which kind of shows employers that you put in the time and the work to validate and prove that you know your stuff. I would also just, you know, you have to really connect with people. I mean, I got the job at Babbitt's partly because I networked, found out who was in the department before I even went there, and started communicating and talking to them and finding out more about the job. And, you know, just the more people you gather around yourself in this field, the better, the more equipped you are. I think in this field more than a lot of other fields, having people that you can reach out to and share knowledge with is vital. And just, you know, not being afraid to take risks, because that's basically one of the best ways to move up, is to leap and the net will appear, basically. And also regarding women in tech, which I was also asked to touch on a little bit, the lady right before me that spoke also mentioned that NAC has a very strong presence with women, especially in higher levels, which I also agree with. I've seen a lot of women in tech in higher levels. At my last job at Moravian Hall Square, the CTO was a woman, and now the woman before me, the technology director, was a woman. And like Bethlehem School District, it's a lot of women in higher level positions. And even the original computer programmers and women working with computers back in like World War II. They were the ones doing the code breaking when the men were off at war. And there's a lot of movies like Hidden Figures and Code Girls that gives examples of how when John Glenn was in the spaceship circling the moon, it was the women that were calculating the trajectories, and there has been in the past a very strong presence in women in tech fields, and there's no reason why the trend can't go back in that direction. So trying to think, I think that's all for now.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you so much, Jamie.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So now up is Cody Lane. He is our most recent graduate, graduating in spring of 2020, right in the middle of the COVID-19 shutdown. He's also a recipient of our most recent industry informed curriculum update and the ethical hacking course. Cody?
Thanks, Mariah. Hello, everybody. My name's Cody Lane. As she said, I just graduated this recent semester with my CIT and security degree. So a little bit about me. My first year at NAC was back in 2014. I took like 2 semesters there and decided I was a math and physics major, which don't know what I was thinking at the time, but I decided to leave college for a little bit, go my own way, joined the United States Marine Corps, was in there for a little while, got discharged for medical reasons, came home, decided to go back to school, and that was about 2 years ago. I did a lot of research of like what I wanted to do. I know a lot of people like computers and stuff. I did work with like some security stuff before I found the security degree, but once I saw the security degree, I kind of knew it was for me after reading like all the different courses and different programs involved. I thought it would be like really beneficial to like know like moving forward with all the technology in the world, how like to secure devices and exploit them and stuff and find the different vulnerabilities. I like the problem solving aspect of the security field. It's like there's a lot of problems you have to solve, and it's like really fun to actually figure them out and actually solve them. During my first semester, I took some networking courses with Kevin Manna. I actually found out like networking was like really intertwined with security. It's actually really fun too. A lot of hands-on stuff in that degree. So I decided to actually do a dual degree like William. Since I already had 1 year prior, it was a lot easier for me to do. I only got my CIT in security. I don't have my networking just yet. I need to pass my Network Plus. That kind of got held up by the COVID thing because you couldn't take the test in person. So now CompTIA allows you to take them online. Also, we're back in the green, so I could probably go and take it now. Besides that, as far as certs go, definitely, like William said, if you can get certs, go get certs because they take them for courses. I don't have to take 136, which is Intro to PC Support and Troubleshooting, I think it is, because I have my A+ cert. That also did let me run the PC repair clinic and stuff with everybody else there. As far as involvement, I have a similar story to William. I was Computer Club president. I ran the PC repair clinic with Corey Steele. He's actually in this call right now. We worked really hard to get everything up and running. It was a fun time. I definitely recommend getting involved with the school because you get to meet tons of new people and actually get to learn a lot of new things. What else? As far as faculty goes, every single professor, Kevin Mann and Brian Stokes, Ann Richards, any of the professors, they're all great. You learn so much from all of them, and they're great people. They'll help you to the ends of the earth with whatever you need. Even the adjuncts, Jay Dieter, Thomas K. They're all great people. Thomas K. Is the one that actually like got me my job. He actually offered me a job where he works. Hopefully starting there soon. Again, COVID kind of screwed things up with start times and stuff, but it's the world we live in right now. I know Mariah wants me to touch on the ethical hacking course. I was taking that during this last semester too, and it kind of got cut in half again because of COVID. It's a reoccurring theme in this, but it is a really fun course. There's a lot of hands-on stuff, and we do a lot of stuff as far as penetration testing, network mapping, it was a lot of fun. Like, I have to admit, if I could actually take the course again, I probably would, just so I can get the full experience in person, because there was a lot of fun labs that I know we didn't get to do because we were working remotely and stuff. And as far as future plans go from here, like after I'm gonna get my Network Plus, get my second associate's degree in networking, since I fell in love with networking as well as security. And this fall, I'm going to Drexel for my bachelor's in security. I'm going to be attending that online and try to find work full time. Other than that, that's pretty much it about me and the program. Like, it's a great program. I can't say anything more about it. I definitely recommend taking a few more networking classes so you definitely understand things a little bit more. But other than that, security program's great. And then just supplement it with some networking courses.
Okay, thank you so much, Cody. And up next, we have Erin Boris. And when we talk about industry connections and speaking in our classrooms, that is Erin. She's a cybersecurity specialist at St. Luke's. She brings invaluable experience and professionalism to the table with her practice and knowledge in cybersecurity. Erin?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Erin Boris. I've been in cybersecurity for the past 7 years. Prior to starting my career in IT, I graduated from NAC in 2012 with an associate's in business administration. Not really the path that I was looking to pursue. So very shortly after, I enlisted in the U.S. Air Force Reserve. Luckily for me, the only positions they had available were technical ones. So I started with the New Jersey Reserve Unit as a cyber system operator, which in my opinion meant I was more of a system admin at the time. So in order to acquire that title, I was mandated to pass the Security Plus certification. And once I was in the field, I gained experience in things like Active Directory, Exchange, virtual machines, basically anything those members traveled with, I tried to learn about. Shortly after I was finished with training, I interviewed for a position with St. Luke's as a security analyst, position I knew at the time I was massively underqualified for. I even remember saying in the interview that I would do all of the grunt work and the things no one else wanted to do. I just needed to get my foot in the door. So I did end up getting hired, and I did end up doing all of the grunt work. I took a lot of notes. I was put on a lot of manual account creation, access control, troubleshooting, policy writing, other activities the more senior level people tried to avoid. After about 6 months, I took more to a security queue, so I was focused on customer facing with all of our products. So that includes things like antivirus, encryption, data loss prevention, web content filtering, security logging, and many, many others. I did this for about a year until my reserve unit closed, and I was given an opportunity to retrain to a cyber intelligence analyst. So this schooling was about 6 months, and it had to focus on things like briefing, critical thinking, and in-depth research. When I was finished with it, I jumped at a chance to mobilize with my new unit, and for another 6 months was given the chance to study adversarial tactics across the cyber domain. My responsibilities revolved around researching TTPs, or tactics, techniques, and procedures, and then delivering IOCs, or indicators of compromise, to the cyber warfare operators depending on the mission set assigned. When I returned to St. Luke's after that time away, I was assigned to a lead position on a digital transformation effort. So those are buzzwords right now, but for us, it meant that we were reviewing all of our policies, procedures, and technical controls in place, and then proposing a plan to alter it. So we would be prepared to lift and shift or migrate our on-prem solutions to the cloud. This was my first exposure to a cloud infrastructure, and it can be overwhelming at first. So I spent a lot of time with cloud engineers and architects to try to finalize the strategy to complete it. I did this for about a year and wanted one more change on the military side. So I took an opportunity to retrain to a cyber warfare operator. This role would allow me to remain more hands-on keyboard as opposed to the intel role where I was doing a lot of briefing and in-depth research. I spent a few months in Arkansas and another few months in Florida focusing on anything from red team, blue team activities, programming, networking. It was an all-over cyber fire hose, if you will. I returned from this retrain last year around this time and received a massive project at St. Luke's to rip out all of the current technology that we have and replace it with a lot of the applications and procedures I assisted with proposing the year before. Since that time, I've had a strong focus on implementation, strategy, and engineering. that was the breakdown of my experience in the last 7 years. On the certification side, the military has paid for about 4 of mine, and then I paid out of pocket for 2. As I stated, the first one I picked up was Security Plus, and then after that, I was given an opportunity to go to Certified Ethical Hacking in a boot camp form. So the difficulty level on CEH is much higher, but I like those two buttoned up next to each other because in Security Plus, you learn the fundamentals, and in CEH, you learn how to manipulate them. After that, I started studying for CCENT, which is the first half of CCNA. I got that in 2016, and then the military sent me to 2 SAMS courses. So I got the GX Security Essentials, and then last year I picked up the Network Forensic Analyst certification. Lastly, in parallel with my new role of engineering and cloud security, I went for the MS 500 or the Microsoft Security Administration certification. And then during the mobilization I volunteered for in 2016, I went back to college for my undergrad and finished my BS in cybersecurity last March. And as of July 1st, started my Master of Science in Cybersecurity at Thomas Edison University. I was asked to provide a few pieces of advice for anyone looking to begin their cybersecurity journey. So the first thing I would say is that you aren't tied to any pace. I know as I was writing down my talking points for tonight, it can seem overwhelming and exhausting. I would recommend going at whatever pace you feel comfortable with. Next, I would highly suggest finding a mentor. This career field can be draining and consists of long hours and high stress levels. It helps immensely to be able to reach out to someone that reminds you why you're passionate about the field to begin with. And although there are many aspects of IT fundamentals I would push people to learn, first and foremost is networking, which seems to be a common theme that I'm noticing on this call tonight. In 2014, I told one of my unit members that I got a job at St. Luke's, and he stated, "Oh, I didn't know you had a background in networking." I said, "I don't," and he told me, "I don't know how you secure a network if you're not sure how it operates." Networking fundamentals, in my opinion, is dry and boring and tedious. But once you understand it, you will have a leg up on all future interviews, and it will truly change the way that you troubleshoot. Lastly, and in my opinion, most important, cybersecurity is a career, not a job. I say that because very few people that are in the field can turn it on at 9 a.m. and turn it off at 5 p.m. Most positions require on-call hours, incident response, and to stay on top of current events in your own time, such as recent news, RSS feeds, and listening to podcasts. A lot of the people you work with in this career will tinker with stuff on their own time. So although it can be draining, there are very few career fields I've found where people are as passionate about them as they are in cybersecurity. And with that, that's all I have.
All right, great. Thank you so much, Erin. And as a bonus speaker tonight, we have Kivanch Kalar. Kivanch is a network technician at T-Mobile, and he graduated with 3 CIT degrees. And he is currently at work and couldn't make the presentation. So we do have his presentation pre-recorded, as Brian mentioned. So just bear with me while I get that up on the screen.
Did it have sound when you listened to it, Mariah?
What's that?
Did it have sound when you listened to it? Because it's not, there's no sound coming right now.
Oh, you don't have any sound for this whole 48 seconds?
Yeah, so a couple
Yeah.
of other people mentioned it.
Yeah, it's playing, so maybe it's not going to work with the screen share. Let me play it again. You don't hear anything? Yeah, I sent
Technical
this.
difficulties.
I sent this to you too, Brian. I don't know if. Let me end this PowerPoint and switch back. Can you hear it now?
Still no sound, Mariah.
Nope.
Okay, well, sorry about that as you're sitting in
It's okay.
your CIT session.
We'll skip Kivanch. I'll speak for Kivanch.
Can you try
Yes.
sharing the video and not the screen?
Yeah, are you sharing the media player when you click share?
Yeah.
The video, not the screen, yeah.
All right. Well, I'll speak about
Okay.
Kivanch briefly.
Okay.
Kivanch was a student last year. Great guy, really, really sharp. I believe, Kevin, you had him in some of your courses as well. So again, that networking and security stuff. He was really interested in the networking side. He learned about a position at T-Mobile as a network tech. He felt he wasn't qualified, but he went ahead and went for it anyway, and they hired him. And he still feels like, he emailed me a couple weeks ago. He said he still is learning a lot from the technicians who like have, you know, encyclopedic knowledge of network protocols, but he's learned a lot, and he's moved into more of a security role in the year or so he's been there. So he's really happy. He couldn't go on, he couldn't be live with us because he usually works like, I think it's like Monday through Thursday, 10-hour days or something. It's a weird schedule, and he gets like 3 days off. But yeah, he's like many of the other people who've presented during this lecture. He just he you know, he studied hard and he went for it, and that's probably the biggest thing, is, you know, just that dedication to it. He would come in and talk to me about, yeah, I was working on my home network over the weekend and this happened and blah blah blah, and he would always be really excited about something he discovered, and that's that passion he felt for the field. And so that's really a key indicator for me that, you know, somebody's going to be successful with they're passionate about what they're doing. So he's another good example of someone who's really excited about the field.
Right.
All right, back to you, Mariah.
Okay. Give me 1 second here. Sorry. Well, that does conclude our guest speakers, and thank you for filling in for Kivanch. It's unfortunate that we didn't get to hear him speak. Jeez. So many thanks to everyone and for speaking tonight and participating. And we are going to now open it up to questions and answers. But before we do, if you would like more information and have not already done so, please feel free to take mine and Brian's contact information, and we will be happy to connect you with our program. And as you know, this is being recorded, so everything will be sent out as well with everybody's contact information. So does anybody have questions that maybe Brian hasn't covered in the chat yet? Anybody?
Or questions for any of the alumni either, too. So
Yes.
either way.
Yeah, and the recording is going to be emailed to everybody that registered. And if you want it to be sent out to somebody else, you can always contact myself or Brian, and we can send you the link directly as well. Okay, so again, we thank you so much to all of our guest speakers for participating, and all of you who have attended as well. We hope that the session was informative and helpful, and we hope that it excites you to begin pursuing your cybersecurity career with us. So again, the link will be recorded and emailed. If you want it sent to anyone else, just reach out to us. So thank you so much, everyone.
Before you end, Mariah, so Denise, who's the dean, asked about if there are any students starting the fall semester. Is anybody on the call that's starting this fall? Or thinking about starting this fall? Oh, no response. Oh, Joshua. Okay.
I didn't see. Alexia, did you raise your hand?
Yeah.
Oh, well, have you picked any of your classes yet? Do you need help in your classwork?
I picked all but one because I want to go to the Monroe count, like around here, not in Bethlehem. And the last class that I picked is all the way in Bethlehem, so I have to go change that.
Okay.
But I'm not entirely sure if I can at the moment.
How many students are thinking about are on the Monroe campus, or how many students are on the Bethlehem campus? Can a show of hands are in the chat with regards to the Bethlehem campus? Anybody? Kim. Joshua Hall, Bethlehem campus. Well, Alexa, you just said Monroe. Sorry, no, I've got one. I've got you there. Okay. Fantastic. Okay, fantastic. Well, I just want to welcome you all to Northampton in general and the computer science programs specifically. I'm a bit biased knowing that I do think it is one of the best programs that you can have in the Valley. And the faculty are some of the best faculty that you can have around. That is both biased but also factual. So if you have, Mariah and Kevin are putting, if you have any questions that are that you think about once you leave us here this evening, the information for Kevin Manna is here, as was with Brian Stokes. And then we will, if Jessica and a few others, if it belongs to someone else, we will get you the information that you need. So I want to welcome you all and wish you the best of luck. But it's not about luck, as some of our alumni said, it's also about a lot of hard work. But you see they're all smiling, right? So apparently what they learned paid off. I see Jamie smiling and Erin's got a bit of a smile on her face. So clearly what they were taught, they were able to use in the workforce. So I'd like to thank the alumni as well for taking time out of their evening to join us.
Yes, and thank you all too. It's good to see all my former students.
Okay, have a good night, everyone.
All right.
Good night.
Take care.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you guys. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.